After reviewing dozens of Etsy shops and shopping from probably dozens more myself, here are 3 more common mistakes that I see when somebody sets up their Etsy shop and their Etsy listings. This is part 3 of an ongoing series, and I will link the other 2 in the description box. And if this is your first video of mine, my name is Abby and this is Type 9 Studio, where I help you start and grow your Etsy shop into a small business. I've been a full-time seller on Etsy myself for over 2 years. Let's jump right in. Number 1 mistake for this video at least is that the order process is too complicated. This mainly applies to listings with variations or with some kind of customization available. So just as an example, if you have something that can be customized a lot of different ways, maybe you have a lot of different options, like they can pick the shape, the color, the font, the text, make that as seamless of a process as possible. Because the more barriers that somebody has to placing an order, the less likely they are to actually place an order. And sometimes your listing can have too many options. Like, I know it is great to have customization because that's what people come to Etsy for a lot of the time, is something that's custom or personalized. But if they can pick every single detail of that product, that's too much. Etsy gives you the option to add 2 variations. So if you have like Christmas ornaments, for example, was the first thing that came to my mind. But you can have like a drop down for the shape and then maybe a drop down for the color. And then if they want to add like an initial or something or a name on there, then you can add that, add a customization or add personalization box. And that's it. Like that max, those 3 things should be all. They should not have to message you unless it's like a picture or something they have to send you the picture. But make sure they don't have to message you if it's not absolutely necessary. So having that many options is not necessarily a bad thing, but it becomes a bad thing when it's hard to understand how to order that. Because if you have listing photos of all these different fonts, these different colors, and then you have like a color for the background of the thing, then you have a color for the text, it's complicated and you need to explain that in the description. So like if you have this many personalization things, let them know like step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like how exactly they need to order, what they need to message you, what they need to pick in the selections, everything. Just make sure that is crystal clear how to actually order the thing, because if they don't know, they're not going to order it. And sometimes with that as well, I see people that have personalized or custom listings, but they don't even give examples of how it can be personalized or how it can be customized. They're not going to message you if they have no clue what you can do or like what you can put on a mug or an ornament or something, or a t-shirt, whatever. You have to give them examples and options. Number 2, a lot of shops have unreasonable shipping. What I mean by that is shipping prices and shipping times. First, let's talk about your shipping prices. So Etsy, at least if you're in the US, they prefer you to have the free shipping over $35, which needs to be factored into your cost because it's not actually free. The customer should end up paying for it in some capacity, even if it is free. A lot of times people just starting out won't know how shipping works really, and you might be tempted to use flat rate shipping like with USPS for everything, and flat rate is not cheaper by any means unless your stuff is really heavy, like several pounds. So if that's you in that situation, do yourself a favor and get a cheap shipping scale. I think the one that I bought several years ago was like 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon, and it's worked fine. Like I haven't even changed the batteries in it in 5 years. You can absolutely just use Etsy's shipping labels, nothing wrong with that. I just prefer not to because I have so many orders that it's easier for me in my accounting to have it separate, but if you're just starting out, use Etsy's. And the second part of that is unreasonable shipping times. So even if you typically ship within like a day or 2, you might put like a 1 to 2 weeks. I see that happen a lot. You don't want to put that because that will discourage people from buying from you. If it says 1 to 2 weeks on that little timeline, because even if you say in your description and in your announcement and everything that you ship within 1 to 2 days, all they're going to look at is that estimated time frame and when it's going to arrive. And if that is way far ahead, like if people are buying for gifts and they need it right away, they're just not going to buy from you. They're going to go find somebody else because it's going to not arrive in time for when they need it. Number 3 is unclear photos. So what I mean by this, and we mentioned in the first episode of this series that I see a lot of bad cropping, like if your thumbnail is cut off because you took a vertical photo and the thumbnail shows horizontally, it's going to cut off most of it, you know? I see a lot that it's not clear what the item for sale actually is. And a few times I have seen people put like other photos, other products photos in their product listing. Like if they, like for example, if I was selling a yellow t-shirt and I also have red and green t-shirts, you don't want to put those in the same listing photo because people are not going to know which one they're getting. And trust me when I say, if you do something like that, or if you have like a group photo of your yellow, green, and blue, or green and red t-shirts, then they're gonna think they're gonna get all three. At least one person is gonna think they will get all three. That has happened to me before. I had a product that I had all of the color options available, and then I put text on it that said other options available in my listings, but they still thought that they were getting them all. So be very careful, be very clear, because you can't assume people are going to read or understand what you put on there. And I mentioned this in the last video, which was a shop review, but make sure that you're careful about how you present the product. So if it's a physical product, make sure that you have a physical photo of the item and not a digital mock-up. And people are aware nowadays that digital downloads, print on demand and stuff like that is a thing. And you want to be aware of that and establish your shop as not just another print on demand or digital download shop, that you want to have actual images of things that people are going to purchase instead of just mock-ups. Although I have reviewed a few shops that have excellent mock-ups. Like, I could not really tell at all that they were mock-up photos. So just be careful about your photos and what you are advertising with those. Make sure, like, if I took a picture of this background and I wanted to sell this shelf, I want to make it clear in my photos that I'm not selling this fabric, I'm selling the shelf. See what I'm saying? Good? Okay. That's it for me today. If you have an Etsy shop or you're thinking about starting one, you might want to subscribe. The link to my shop reviews is in the description box, and my last video as well. I have instructions on how to order one if you want, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.